let's kick it off and do the NewsWatch. And just pulling it up. And pull this over. And pull this over. Oh, what happened there? Okay, where's the calendar? And this week. Okay, I'm all good, you see there.
Okay, so let's see. On Sunday we have nothing special. On Monday, let's see the speech by Debelle and Clarida. First of all, due to panel discussion, let's forget. Don't need to read the rest. And Clarida, due to deliver opening remarks, similar. Let's forget. So, and Lane, due to participate in a panel discussion, let's forget. And so then we have, for the yen, we have the current account, major higher time frames, bearish, and monitor the Japanese 30-year bond auction. That's correct.
Okay, I'll scroll down.
On Tuesday, we will have, let's see, we have Williams speaking, so let's see the content of his talk or its speech. Panel discussion, let's forget. Then we will have, I will monitor the pound average earnings index 3 months of a year, so monitor and bullish. Then we have the Euro-German ZEW economic sentiment, major bullish, and the Euro-ZEW economic sentiment for the entire Eurozone, so major and bullish too. Then we have George speaking.
Yeah. Funny how he's got the last name of Speaks.
Due to speak about the economy of the Economic Club of Minnesota, no, let's forget. Then we have that's all for Tuesday.
Nothing for China?
No, they are less important for the entire economy.
Okay.
So Wednesday. On Wednesday, I will monitor the Euro-German preliminary GDP quarter over quarter, major higher time frames bullish.
Okay.
Then we will have the Euro flash GDP quarter over quarter, major higher time frames neutral. Monitor the German 30-year bond auction. Then we will have the...
Sorry, what did you say the German preliminary was? Bearish or bullish?
Bullish. Bullish.
Thanks. Okay, we're at the 30-year... I'll scroll the chart down.
Yeah. Then we have the CAD CPI month over month, major higher time frames to be defined. And the core CPI month over month for the CAD, major higher time frames to be defined.
Okay.
Then monitor for the US dollar, the core retail sales month over month, bearish. And the retail sales month over month for the US dollar also bearish. Then we have Quarles speaking.
Okay. I'll scroll down.
Due to testify on supervision and regulation before the Senate Banking Committee in Washington, D.C. This may be, I will monitor this. Yeah. Then we have to monitor also, for those of you who trade crude oil, so the crude oil inventories.
Hey, Louise.
Then I will pay attention also to the OZ MI inflation expectations, major higher time frames, but to be defined. And then we have another big one, the employment change for the OZ, major higher time frames bearish.
Red.
And the not necessarily red, but no, I will not stay awake to.
But if you were living down here.
Yes, I will.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And the unemployment rate neutral.
Okay.
And then we have Bullock speaking.
Okay. Ah, is that new?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't there yesterday. Sure.
Due to speak about the new payments platform at the Australian Securities. Oh, no, let's forget. Then on Thursday, I will monitor also the German Bundesbank President Weidmann's. No, sorry, I will not monitor. Let's check the content of the speech. Due to the speech titled "Challenges for the German Economic Model and the German Savings." No, not important. Then we will have the Euro trade balance major higher time frames neutral.
I don't have that either. So they've stuck this in the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. Trade balance.
So neutral.
Choose.
Then I will monitor the Eurogroup meetings in the context of the Brexit. Then we have the CAD manufacturing sales month-over-month major to be defined. The CAD ADP non-farm employment change a major to be defined. Monitor the US dollar Philly Fed manufacturing index bullish. Monitor the natural gas storage.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have yeah, we have lots of people talking. Polos hold a press conference about the financial system review. No, not necessarily. No, I will forget it. Brainard, so do you speak about the economic and monetary policy outlook? No. And Haskell, due to speak at the University of York? No, let's forget. Then we will have, that's all for Thursday. Friday, we will have the US dollar preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment monitor and pretty much neutral. And preliminary University of Michigan inflation expectations to be defined. And we have again Clarida speaking. Due to speak about the Federal Reserve policy, strategy tools and communication practices, no, let's forget. And we have the parliament elections indeed in Australia, so monitor what will happen.
Okay, hey Kevin. And hey Eva, nice to see you. Eva, sorry. Okay, cool. And right, so the bad news today is this. The top 10 is this. Officially, it's only these ones here.
Let me note them. So we have the pound Kiwi, we have the pound
Aussie, pound CAD,
pound yen, and let's take also the pound US dollar, and let's add the pound Swiss and the euro Kiwi.
Okay. So the ranges are very small these days. If I pull this over, we don't need this anymore. If you've got any questions about what we've said, let us know. I've still got to do my incantation. But you can see the ranges have dropped off. 2015, I saw something back here. No, 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 this one. So I made this in November 2015, and it shows the average daily range for the pound kiwi and the top 10, and there are actually 10 listed there. Oh, sorry, 14. What we generally go for is items that are at least $750 or greater in average daily range, and so that drops down to here, and we've got 25 that were over that amount. I'm not too sure when this one was done, but it was less than midway between now and 2015. But you can see the range was a lot larger back in 2015. Today, the range is this $900. So it's not quite a third, but under half of what it was back in 2015. And there's only 4 pairs that actually make more in an average daily range than $750. So the ranges are tighter. Things are not moving as much at the moment. Just to re-emphasize that. So coming back over here to the news. So the reason that we go through this is so that you've got some idea on what news items to avoid. We don't trade through the news. So if there's some news coming out, we close the trade out within half an hour of it coming out, if you're trading on the smaller time frames, and don't place any orders within an hour of it coming out. This is to stop you getting hit with the volatility, if there is any, when the news comes out. If there's a surprise, it can impact your account, not just the profits that you're making, but your actual hardcore cash. So we don't want that to happen. So the majors are for anything under the listed under the time frame of 4 hours that you're trading. H4s, the same thing applies for the higher time frames. So if you're trading, say, the daily time frame, we've got H4 plus here, then on that one too, it's still a half hour and 1 hour prior to those coming out that you take those actions. You don't have to count numbers of bars or anything like that. It's just the actual amount of time. If there's a bit of difference, the major pairs are the euro, the US, and the yen. If there's major news coming out on there, then it can affect all pairs. So even if you're trading the Kiwi Aussie, which has no bearing supposedly on those, then take those actions. No trading within an hour, close out within half an hour. If it's a pound item, then it depends on what the news is. Just be careful about what you're doing and be aware that it's coming out, so you don't get caught by it. And if it's a smaller pair that's has got a news announcement coming out, like for instance the CAD here, and you're in, say for instance the Kiwi pound pair or something like that, then the CAD is unlikely to affect it as much, and so you could perhaps be a bit more aggressive and trade through it without having to close your trade out. So with the 3 majors, the euro pound, the euro, the US and the yen, treat all pairs with these considerations. With any of the smaller pairs, then it's up to you whether you trade through them or not when the news comes out on other currencies. And for the pound, it depends on the actual pound news when it comes out, if it's going to be a big one or a small one. Sorry, trying to get through this quickly, so I can't get into too much detail here, but if you've got some questions, please ask. Okay. Okay. Chat in the chat. And, right, so what Eusebio is going to do now that we've got our rough top 10 pairs, which are really only 4, but I'll extend it out to, say, down here, so we've got at least 7 pairs to choose from. Eusebio is going to match these up against the news for each day so that we've got some idea on what pairs to pull out for the particular day. So I think you didn't want it down to here. I'll leave them in, that's all right. So Sunday we've got nothing. Monday we've got just the yen, Eusebio?
On Monday we get the yen. The yen.
Not even. Oh, that comes out after the 5 p.m. So.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
we have no special. So the choice will be easy. The first choice will be the pound kiwi or pound Aussie.
Just like last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then the pound card and then the pound yen.
Yep. Okay. Next one. On Tuesday, we have the yen.
The yen, yes.
And the pound.
No, the pound is to monitor.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Euro.
And the euro.
The euro,
Yep.
okay. So then the first choice will be the pound yen.
Okay.
Then the euro kiwi.
Yep.
And then the pound kiwi or pound Aussie.
Okay. And on Tuesday, we have nothing hanging over, and Tuesday, there's nothing hanging over from Tuesday. So we've got the euro, the CAD, and the CAD still, and that's it.
And yeah, that's it. Okay. So we will have the pound CAD, then the euro kiwi,
yep,
and then the pound kiwi or pound Aussie.
Okay. And for, what are we up to now? Thursday. Hangovers from Wednesday, we have the Aussie.
The Aussie.
Big Aussie.
Yeah.
And euro.
The euro.
CAD.
The CAD.
And that's it.
And that's it. So we will have, so for the first choice, the pound kiwi or pound Aussie.
Yep.
Then the pound CAD. And then the euro kiwi.
Oops. Okay. And for Friday, hangovers from Thursday is nothing. And on Friday, we've got nothing as well.
So the choice will be similar as Monday. So you can copy Monday.
And it's done. Okay, cool. So we've kind of whittled it down from the top 7 pairs to 3 or 4 per day. So hopefully that helps. No guarantees on this, just to make sure. But yeah, when you're trading, just pick 1 or 2 or maybe 3 pairs tops to trade with so that you're not jumping around all over the show. Some will take off while you're watching those pairs. Others will start moving. Just be careful about trying to swap horses halfway through midstream, or you'll fall off and won't end up with any pips at all. So, okay. It's better to concentrate on just one thing. Keep consistency. Okay, any questions? I'm presuming no.
To this list of pairs,
yep.
If there are some important events in the world which can increase the perception of risk in many markets with everything that is happening, so especially with, again, the tariff problems between USA and China, don't hesitate also to consider adding either the pound yen or the pound Swiss to the pairs you want to monitor during the day when these pairs are not recommended. So, because the yen and the Swiss are considered as safer currencies, so currency heaven, and in case of risk, so the traders have a tendency to put their money in the yen or the Swiss.
Okay, good. Thanks, Eusebio.
And you can do that every day. In fact, when this is a general rule, you can always apply when you see a possibility of risk increase around the world.
Okay, and define risk?
Risk is something which is completely negative, so which may have negative impact over the world. For example, if there was indeed an escalation between USA and China about tariffs. So this can impact the global economy. This can be bad for global economy, and so the risk will increase, and so this could benefit to the yen and the Swiss.
Cool, thank you. Hi Tariq and Jim. What else? Robert saw a pie chart showing volume of each pair's traded. Shocked at how low a percentage of all the non-majors were. Yeah, yeah, the pound and the US dollars, I think, are the biggest. You can get them off Baby Pips, I think. They've got some good charts in there. Okay, if you want to find the link, Robert, I'll show people. But let's plow on here. So if you have any questions, please yell out. Maybe maybe we add an extra category, Eusebio, for risk on, risk off on the web page somewhere. It's getting kind of big though.
No, we cannot say in advance if the market will be risk on or risk off, because this really depends what is happening day after day. So.
Yeah, I was thinking from what you just said, like an extra thing down here to say pairs to trade during a safer. Okay, I don't know. Right. Keep it in mind for yourself for the moment.
There are some tips you can possibly consider to define if the big traders, the big boys, the big investors are risk on or risk off, is to observe also what other markets are doing. For example, what is the equity market doing? And you can look at the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 index drops, this can possibly be a risk-off situation. Risk off. If the equity market goes upward, it may be a risk-on situation. But you have to confirm, in case of a possibility of risk increase, you have to check, for example, if other more considered secure instruments are doing fine, like gold. If gold is going upward, this may be the possibility that the big investors are considering we are risk off. Check also the bonds market. If the bonds have a tendency to go upward, this may be an indication of risk off. Sorry. So that there are some tips you can check that way and decide if the day can be considered as a risk on or risk off. When the expression risk on, risk off means, when we say risk on, this means that the investor have no fear to invest in riskier instruments. Like the stock market, like the currencies, and so on. When the market is said being, or the big traders or big investors are said to be risk off, this means that they consider the risks are larger, and so they put their money in safer instruments, like gold, like safer currencies, yen, Swiss, like gold in terms of commodities. And so you have to check these markets. And so.
Okay, but if gold's going up, Eusebio, wouldn't that indicate that there's a risk?
Not necessarily.
People running away from risk.
No, if the price of gold goes upward, this means that people consider risks are increasing. Generally speaking, generally speaking, but not necessarily always. It may be also that some industries are requiring more gold, and so there is more demand in gold, and the price of gold goes upward. So one instrument alone is not necessarily significant of risk on or risk off. You have to check several things simultaneously. For example, is the price of gold going upward? Is the equity market going downward? Are the safer currencies strengthening? If all these markets moves together, then you can be sure that the market is risk on, risk off. So one market alone is not enough to decide.
Okay. Right. So risk off means remove risk.
Remove risk. Yeah.
So they think it's risky out there, so they'll go to safe places.
Yes. or to what is considered safer places.
Yeah. And risk on means okay. Hope that helps. Yeah, Robert. Yes. Yeah, they're being extra risky on those ones. Right. Okay, so without going down this thing too much, you concluded in writing what Eusebio just said. Yeah, Tariq, that's what I was hoping to do. Okay, so any major situations coming up, Eusebio?
We have to check carefully what is happening again in UK with the Brexit.
Yeah.
So negotiations are running among the different parties, the Labour and the Tories. They will come to a conclusion, either an agreement or not. So, and we have to closely follow the negotiations about tariffs between USA and China.
Yep. And with US trying to start a war with Iran as well. That's not good.
Yeah, they are sending. What is the kind of boat they are sending there?
Fleet.
Yeah.
Flotilla.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Or they consider the possibility.
No, they have sent it. Yeah. Anyway, okay, cool. So I'll bump Iran up the train here. I'm going long term. Iran, ta-da, and the US. Yes.
Yeah.
A bit of wag the dog, I think, going on there. Perhaps Eusebio, but not. I don't. Okay. Anyway, right. Thank you. So let's get rid of this. Any questions? Let us know. Comments, whatever. Where to check equity commodity from Tariq.
You can follow the chart of the price of gold, S&P 500, some bonds market everywhere on internet. Just Google, so that there are a lot of sites where you can follow their prices.
Even in some of the MetaTrader platforms, like I'm using Pax Forex still here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We've got the S&P 500 sitting around. Oh, here they are, the indices.
But you don't necessarily have bonds, for example.
No, okay.
You have the S&P 500, yeah. You have...
Yeah, it depends on your platform.
Yeah, it depends on the platform.
Okay. So if I pull up, say, the S&P 500 and check it out and see what it's been doing, it's dropped off. So,
so the equity market is going down. So this may be possibly a risk-off situation. Now, to be sure, let's check, for example, the price of gold. Can you show the chart of gold also on the daily time frame?
Perhaps. Where is it? Oh, silver, gold.
Gold, yeah.
And it's not doing much.
It's not doing much for the moment, so indeed. And can you check, for example, on TradingView? You can check on TradingView. TradingView is another platform which is partly free, partly with a subscription. You can check, or another one which is called investing.com.
Okay. Actual websites. Sure.
You can check the chart of many instruments. So sometimes with a delay, the paid subscription, but we don't need to be in live conditions. So you go on chart. You click on chart.
Okay. Chart
button, yeah. And then instead of AAPL, which is Apple, type, for example, No, above, just above in the area. Yeah, there. Type, for example, US 30. So 30 Y, yes, US 30Y, which is the 30-year bond. So this is not the 30-year bond, it's the yield. And you see the yield are dropping. If the yields are dropping, this means the bond is going upward. So we have the bond going upward, we have the ES, so the S&P 500 going downward, so we are clearly in a risk-off situation. So.
Okay. So people are going to safer places because they want to remove the risk. They think it's risky.
Yeah.
But gold hasn't changed.
Yeah, but we don't necessarily need to have all of them. So
okay.
2 may be enough.
Sure.
And you will never have 100% certainty. So.
Okay. So this just gives you the overall climate for the trading as opposed to the actual.
You can also check, for example, another index, a very important index, which is the VIX. So on TradingView. So change the chart as being VIX, VIX. So the VIX index, which is the CBOE volatility index, yes, indeed. And we can see that the volatility these last 2 days has dropped also. The volatility has dropped, so this may be considered as more difficult to explain because the volatility has increased, now it is decreasing, so not so risky, But pay attention, if the volatility will increase, this may be a possibility for also to emphasize the risk-off situation. So.
Okay. Thank you, Eusebio. I hope that helped, Tariq.
Yeah, you will never have certainty by analyzing these kind of data, but you will have a good opinion. And what is important is to have a good opinion helping you to make a good bias. But certainly, 100% certainty, you will never have. Okay?
Sorry, Tariq. I just saw that you asked me to conclude what Eusebio said. I don't know if you're joking or not. Where to check the equity, so we've done that. Hope that's okay. There's a whole world in this, Tariq, so Eusebio's only just opening up doors. It's
just scratching the surface.
Yeah, there's a lot behind this. Good luck. And okay, so let's flip out of here. So back over here on our pages here, I'll bump up Iran and US and Trump's tweets about China. Okay, nothing else?
No, I don't see nothing else, no.
Okay. How about Spain's election results? Did they come to anything?
No, apparently no. There will be no danger coming from Spain in the medium term.
Okay, and Italy, still monitoring their
Problem are still with Italy, yes, indeed.
Okay.
And we will see, we have still to pay attention, in fact, to the European election at the end of May this month.
Okay.
So I think it's on 29th of May.
Okay.
And to see if this will be a good indication for the confidence people have in the European Union or not. So.
Yep.
Especially here in France, where the question of the Frexit is more often mentioned. So I follow closely what is happening here in France.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.